Good morning, everybody. So it is currently bright and early on Friday, February 1st. It is the start of BookTube Games, but that's not what this reading vlog is about. This one is going to be a themed one based on the fact that February is Black History Month, so I wanted to kind of do a reading vlog to really read some books from Black authors, etc., and just kind of celebrate that on my end as well. So this will be a 4-day weekend reading vlog because, you know, this girl wants to do what she wants to do, and so it's going to start from today, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So I'm very excited overall. I have 2 books that I plan to read. Hopefully I get to a 3rd one, but we shall see, to be honest. But you know, it is what it is if it doesn't work out. So anyways, let me share with you guys the books that I want to read during this time period. So these are the 2 books that I plan to read: The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo and The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. So I did a poll on Twitter. I will put an image somewhere here, and you can clearly tell that this one won by a landslide. I think there was like 50% or something like that. And then the funny story is that for the longest time it was Pride that was doing really well in 2nd place, and then this book and then Monday's Not Coming were only at like 5% for the longest time. They inched up to 8% at one point, and then sometime between then, a few hours later, I don't really know what happened, I come back and this one won. Like, I am just really shocked by that. So anyways, these are 2 books I plan to pick up. This one I should be able to finish pretty quickly because it's mostly just in poems, and therefore it seems like it'll be really short and a very quick read, so I'm pretty sure I can finish this relatively soon. This one, on the other hand, I'm not really sure, to be honest, because this one is definitely a bit chunkier. There's what, like a little over 400 pages, so we'll see. I mean, ideally I want to finish that obviously within this weekend, but then again, it's Super Bowl Sunday this weekend, so that's why I want to do a 4-day weekend, because I was like, well, Super Bowl Sunday, I know I'm gonna be really busy. I will be gone for pretty much like half the day, going to my friend's place to celebrate and go watch the game, etc. I'm a very big Super Bowl person, by the way. So that being said, that's why I wanted to do a 4-day weekend, to be honest. And also because I finished all the books that I want to finish reading yesterday, so that way I can start today fresh. So I have these 2 books that I'm aiming to read. By the way, this reading vlog will not showcase any of my audiobooks or ebooks. I do read those on the side as well, but for the sake of this being a themed reading vlog, this will just be the books that I'm physically reading. So anyways, I'm very excited to start this book right here. I think I should be able to finish this pretty soon, hopefully sometime by today. So anyways, that's my update for now, and I will just see you guys later. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to yet another update. I just got home from work. I'm actually heading out in a few minutes to go to dinner. We're actually celebrating Chinese New Year's, so very excited for that. But I thought I'd give you guys an update for this book. So I pretty much blasted through this book the entire day. I read this on my commute to work, during lunch, on my way back, and I'm already on page 300, and that means I only have about 50 pages left. So I am going through this so quickly. This book is great. I'm really enjoying it so far. I understand why some people really like it. There's so much emotion, so much like vulnerabilities depicted in here. You can really see her struggles between Shiomara, like the main character, especially with her relationship between her and her mother, her relationship with her and her brother, as well as her and her relationship with religion and her God in general, which I really like. It makes her so relatable, to be honest. So 2 quotes that I thought were kind of interesting. The first one is mostly just because of a funny factor, and that one is: the only thing that calms me down after Twin and I get home is to put my headphones on to listen to Drake. And my first thought was, really? Drake? He would not have been my go-to person. But anyways, I thought that was interesting. Also, side note, she doesn't call her twin by his actual name. She calls him Twin, which I think was kind of interesting. Then the other quote that I really like is actually found on page 219, and that one was something had happened prior to this, a huge incident, whatever, and this is what she said in response to that: because no one will ever take care of me but me. And that quote, guys, is perfection. I really like that quote. As soon as I read it, I was like, wow, I can see, yeah, I don't have any other words because this book is just really good. The author did such a good job, honestly, with depicting everything, like everything, even the romance in here, even though I'm not the biggest fan, and sometimes to be honest, but I still really like it because the way how the author depicts the first love, like the innocence of it all, how their insecurities and, you know, what they're struggling through like together, and how they're just uncomfortable with their bodies, etc. Like that was portrayed, or that is portrayed so well in this book. So even though I don't really like the guy, like something happened and I'm not the biggest fan of the guy right now, but the relationship itself, the romance, the way how the author depicted it and, you know, worded it, really great, guys. I really like this book. So that's kind of my thought on this book right now. Also, side note, for whatever reason I had misunderstood what this book was about, because I saw something about the Slam Poetry Club, and I, for some whatever reason, misread it as she was going to go speak at the Slam Poetry Club, and then after that things will, like, you know, she'll speak out. And I thought that was going to happen way early on, but that's not the case at all, because that literally just happened maybe 50 pages ago. So a lot of the book prior to that is just leading up to it in terms of her relationship, kind of understanding her and why she feels that she needs this outlet to speak out, especially, like I said, with her relationship with her parents, her mom specifically, her relationship with her brother, etc, etc. So anyways, really liking this book a lot. I'm really curious now because now she's actually going to this big event for Poetry Slam Club, and she's really excited for it. I'm very excited for her for it, and we'll see how that goes. Something just happened right now, and I'm at the part where her mom just found out about something, and I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So anyways, that's kind of my update for now. I'll update you guys later, either later tonight as I finish this book, or sometime tomorrow. Really depends. I have a full weekend, to be honest, so I'll update you guys when I update you guys, basically. Apologies, I'm just really busy this weekend. This weekend is just, I didn't realize how busy I am this weekend until I made all these plans today. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, so I am back with yet another update. Right now it is still Friday evening, but I just came back from dinner and I finished this book. Really like it, guys. So you know how I said earlier about how I didn't like the boyfriend? Well, scratch that, because he has redeemed himself. Honestly, like the last few pages, the last like 50 or so pages, he has redeemed himself 100%, like even more, to be honest. Really liked him now. I'm just like, wow, where can I find a guy like that, to be honest? Like he, ugh. Anyways, so I really like him now, and I also really liked how the author kind of depicted the ending in terms of how the relationship between her and her mother, because honestly that was probably the most toxic relationship depicted in this book, because her and her mother are just so different. They want very different things. They don't really know how to communicate with each other, to be honest. Her mother's very religious. All she wants is her daughter to be just like that, very pious, etc. And of course Shiomara does not want that. She's very much independent. She kind of wants to speak out. She has her own feelings. She's also very curious about, you know, religion, about life, about, you know, growing up into like a woman, and like developing all these curves, etc. So basically I just liked how the author depicted that relationship and how she ended things in a very realistic manner. It was not as if everything was tied very neatly in like a bow tie kind of way. It made sense, and it didn't seem, you know, a little bit too exaggerated. It didn't seem unbelievable, etc. And so I really liked that. I think everything about this book was really well done. Yeah, so this one I definitely gave a 5 out of 5 stars, which honestly on a good note for now. So I actually did a little, I like Bookly now because they provide all that stats, so you can see the stat here in terms of how quickly I read the book, how many hours it took. But yeah, if you're looking for a really great read, very emotional, great depictions in terms of the dynamics between relationships, especially with a parent and a child, also goes into like religion as well, then this is a book that I definitely recommend. I mean, this book is, I can definitely see why some people really like this book. Anyways, for me, I liked it. I thought it was great. If you haven't read it, definitely recommend it. So anyways, now I am on to The Bells. Very excited for this one. I'm going to spend about an hour or so reading because I want to obviously get more pages in for the BookTube games. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Hey guys, so I thought I'd update you guys really quickly right now before I go to bed. So I'm currently on page 184. Yeah, 184. So I've made some progress, but honestly not as much as I would have liked, to be honest, because one, I was editing videos for like the longest time, and two, I was kind of distracted by this audiobook that I was reading because that audiobook was so interesting. So I think for this book, the reason why I am not that interested about it, or why I'm just not really connecting with anyone, is because I don't like the society. So I mean, to be fair, this book is literally all about beauty, right? So it literally talks about how there are these bells and they basically provide beauty for everyone because everyone just looks really ugly. That's essentially what happened because of the whole like goddess thing going on. And so because of that, they really care about how they look. Their physical appearance is incredibly important. All they care about is the color of their hair, what skin color they have, their fashion, their clothes, like literally all that stuff. So because of that, I feel that most if not all of the conversations are literally just about that. It's incredibly shallow, and I don't think I am the best person to read this type of book because I like books with a little bit more substance, a little bit more depth to it, and so far I don't really see that in this book at all. The one thing that I think might develop a little bit more is the sisterhood between the other Belles, but at the same time, the way how it was portrayed since the beginning is that they're all more of competitors and rivals because they're all trying to get that one role. But now that the role has been filled and they all know like what their respective positions are, I think that their sisterhood will develop a little bit more because of that. So hopefully that ends up developing a little bit more, and therefore I can be a little bit more on board with the people and the conversations don't seem as shallow anymore. But that's kind of my biggest issue with this book. I'm also starting to understand the magic system a little bit more, especially with, well, not really, to be honest. So there's the 3 arcanas, and one interesting thing that I've learned so far is that they actually use leeches to kind of rebalance the properties in the blood, which I think is kind of an interesting concept. And I mean, really leeches though, so that's one thing that I learned that is starting to help me understand the world, like the magic system. But at the same time though, it's still incredibly vague. I think the way how the author is presenting this magic system and the beauty and whatnot and like how it works is very slow, and she's sprinkling like little things here and there. She's definitely more showing it, which is great, but at the same time, because it's so like infrequent, I think that it's taken me a long time to kind of fully form a picture of what the heck is going on. So that's like another issue that I kind of have with this book. But regardless though, I'm still really intrigued by what is going on behind all the walls, like the secrets, the mystery, because the more I'm getting into this book, the more that element is starting to rise, and I'm definitely getting more intrigued by that. There's also a hint of a romance, like a budding romance going on, that I am like, maybe that will be interesting too. So I'm basically grasping at the things that I'm like kind of interested in and like hoarding it, because there's so much other things about this book that I'm not really enjoying. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this book right now. But I'm going to bed soon. I'm going to read a little bit more of this book, and I woke up early, not to read this book but to edit a video, and then I'm going to read more of this book. So hopefully tomorrow, like my only plans for tomorrow honestly is to edit my video and then read this book and then go to the Super Bowl game, like party thing with my friends. So that's essentially all my plans for tomorrow, and I'm hoping to finish this book tomorrow, to be honest. And then if I can finish it tomorrow, then I might have time to pick up the 3rd book. So I'm really excited about that. So anyways, I will update you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back to another update. It is now Sunday afternoon. I have now reached the 300-page mark for this book, and can I just say, I do not like Camellia. She's the main character. I find her extremely annoying. Like, not really annoying, but I don't like the fact that she never knows how to say no. Like, she knows things are clearly wrong and she's being asked to do all these terrible things, and she just doesn't say no, and that frustrates me to no end. And afterwards she's like, what could I have done? And I'm just like, you could have said no. Like, I don't understand. And so like it frustrates me to no end, because everyone around her, like all her friends and everything, are looking at her with disappointment in their eyes, and I'm just like, this girl here, like, I do not like her. I do not like people who cannot say no, because especially when they know that they're being asked to do something that's terrible and it's not right, and that frustrates me and annoys me to no end. So I do not like her at all. And so at this point, I'm 300 pages in, so about like 3/4 of the way done with this book. The plot itself is getting more interesting now. A lot more developments have been revealed in terms of the mystery, like what's actually going on, some of the secrets behind it, and also some of the explanations about the arcana has also been revealed in terms of like what happens if it's not balanced, and etc, etc. So I'm definitely enjoying the plot more, but the characters, oh my goodness. Camellia, she is the worst. I definitely like Brie, that's her maid, and I also like Remy, who is the like her security guard. But other than that, not really liking any of the characters. I really hate the princess as well. She's like such a terrible person. She's like clearly crazy. And Adele, the other character that I kind of liked in the beginning, she is nowhere to be found. She literally was there for the first like 30 pages and that was it. So very disappointing on that end. I'm very curious to find out what happened to her, because she had a lot of potential to her, I guess, for her character, but because she's like not in this book anymore, I don't know what happened to her. So a little disappointed on that end. But yeah, this book, I just really wanted to update you guys because, and let you guys know how much I hate Camellia. That's pretty much what this update is about. I'm really hoping she gets a little better, but it's already page 300 and I don't see anywhere in the future, in the near future at least, where she becomes a better person. Well, it's not like she's not a bad person. She definitely has a good heart. I think I'm just really frustrated that she just does not know how to say no for an answer, and so she ends up being used for things that should not have happened or should not be like done, and that irks me so much. So hopefully I'll finish this book today. Honestly, if I don't finish this book today, then I will not pick up the third book. I'm just going to end this vlog whenever I'm done with this book. That's kind of where I'm at right now. If I do finish this book today, then there's a good chance that I'll pick up the third book, especially if I'm done with this book by the time I go to the Super Bowl game, because that way I can read the third book, Pride, with me on the train, like on the commute there. So that will allow me to at least get a good chunk of that done. But it really depends at this point. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more, try to get this done, ideally before the Super Bowl game, so I can read the third book, and we'll go from there. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Hey guys, so I am done with this book. Progress has been made. I just finished this book just now, and I have to say, I know how I've been complaining about this book the entire time, but I think the last 100 pages or so has really redeemed itself in my eyes, because I am very much enjoying the entire premise now. I think Camille has finally gotten some sort of backbone in her, so I'm starting to like her character a little bit more, and a lot of the mystery element has finally been all revealed now, and the book ends on a major cliffhanger, I think. So now I am like, I want to pick up the second book now, because honestly, this book definitely gave me the most up and downs in terms of my feelings. At the beginning, I remember I was thinking to myself, I wanted to DNF this book actually, and for the longest time I was very confused with this book, but then I finally got everything, and then all these other elements started to come into play, and that started to make the book a little interesting, specifically like the mystery element of it, and like what's going on, and all the secrets and the truth behind the bells, etc, etc. And so now I'm actually enjoying this book a lot more, and I'm glad I finished it. Let me give you the stats, because of course I have the stats here. So total pages 448 according to Bookly. The total reading time is 3 hours and 21 minutes, so definitely a little bit longer. I think my average reading speed per hour is 205 pages, so I think that's pretty accurate. I don't know, I feel like this book took me way longer than 3.5 hours, but I guess not. I think I just read it in such short increments here and there that it felt very long. But anyways, I'm glad it's still Sunday, so I'm gonna go pick up Pride now and go find it actually, and I will update you guys when I start reading that book and have some more insight in terms of my thoughts about that book. So giving you guys a quick update before I head out to my friend's place for the Super Bowl game, which I'm really excited for. So I found this book. I haven't started it yet, but I will pick it up. I will read it obviously during my commute there, so I'll definitely be able to get a good chunk of this done. Hopefully all of it actually, because this is actually a really small book. It's not even 300 pages, so I have pretty high hopes that I can finish this relatively quickly. So in terms of what I know about this book so far, it's a Pride and Prejudice remix. It takes place in Brooklyn, and it features 2 African-American teenagers, which I'm very excited for. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, I've heard pretty good things about this book, so I'm really excited to see and find out for myself if this book is as great as everybody has said it is. So anyways, I will update you guys later when I get back from the Super Bowl game. Hey guys, it is now Monday morning. I want to give you guys a quick update before I head out to work, because I wanted to update you guys last night when I got home, but honestly, by the time I got home after the game and everything, it was close to midnight, and I pretty much went straight to bed because I was exhausted. So I want to give this a really quick update before I go to work on my progress of Pride. I'm currently on page 120, so I'm about a little under halfway done with this book, and I am enjoying this book so much right now. I really like all the references between the original Pride and Prejudice versus this one. I really like the modern remix, and I really like the characters. I really like all the sisters. There's so much fun to read about, but my favorite part right now is the fact that it's set in New York, specifically Brooklyn, because a lot of the references there I really get. It's set in Bushwick to be specific, and I've been there a few times, like not really that much, but a lot of the notable places there mentioned in this book I have been before, so I was like, oh, I kind of know what you're talking about, and so I really like that. And honestly, this book is just so much fun to read. I am definitely going to finish this book by the time I get home from work today, which is why I really want to update you guys before I get to work, because otherwise by the time I get home from work I'm definitely going to be done, and therefore I have no updates while reading this book. So I really wanted to update you guys right now while I'm still halfway through with this book. So anyway, that's my update for now, and I will see you guys later when I get home from work and give you guys a more full update on this beautiful book. Also, the spine of this book is super pretty. If you guys can see this, hopefully it will like focus on it soon. So look how beautiful this cover is. Like the spine of this cover is so pretty. Like I really like the gold and the blue together. I think it's great. So anyways, that's my update for now, and I will see you guys later when I get home from work with a full update. Hey guys, so it is now Monday evening, so I want to wrap up this vlog as well as give you guys a update on terms of how I felt about this book. So I did finish it obviously, and quick stats, because I know I like it. I don't know about you guys actually, because I don't think I've done this. At this point, my video that I have been doing this is not up yet, so I don't know if you guys like it or not, but let me know, I guess, if you like these stats. So quick stats: total pages was 304 according to Bookly and Goodreads. Total reading time is 2 hours, just over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 10 minutes. And the reading speed is 140 pages per hour. So I will put the image here as always. And yeah, I mean, this book flew by so fast. I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars because, so the beginning half was really great. I thought it was super cute. I really liked all the references between the original Pride and Prejudice. I really liked the characters. But then the second half came, and honestly, there were some things that Darius, he's Mr. Darcy in this book, that he did, and there are certain ways how Zuri reacted and how that kind of just led to things that I wasn't really fond of, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like it was bad or anything, but I just don't know. I mean, I felt like the way how she reacted and what he did to garner that reaction, I was just like, I feel like that ended up making the book like a 3.5 star. I was gonna go for a 4 star. I think that was my original plan because it was really cute. Like, it definitely was not a 5-star read. It's definitely, my 5-star reads have to be like amazing, like next level amazing. So usually books, if I enjoyed it, for the most part, it's ended up being a 4 star. And then because of what that happened and kind of like the dynamic between the two and how the book ended as well, I ended up giving a 3.5 star because the ending just felt super rushed and I didn't really like that, and I just don't really understand why it happened the way it did. I'm not really sure if I like the ending and kind of like how the second half of the book, just where that went. So that's why I gave it 3.5 stars. So I mean, overall it was still an enjoyable book for sure. I mean, it was a really fast read and I really like the references, especially on Bushwick. So like, you know how before I was like, oh yeah, it's like set in Brooklyn, etc., but there was a quote like literally like the minute after I finished updating you guys and I was reading the book, it was like, she said something about how like, oh, Bushwick is not Brooklyn or Brooklyn is not Bushwick, and I was like, okay, technically it is because Bushwick is in Brooklyn, but in terms of the culture and everything, then yes, like very much not the Brooklyn that a lot of people see, because a lot of people, when they think of Brooklyn, think of like hipster, and Bushwick is not like that at all. So anyways, that's my update for this book, but I do want to do a really quick recap in terms of all the books that I finished this weekend. So I finished this book first, The Poet X. I really liked it. This one I rated 5 stars because it was so good. I think everything about this was done really well. I liked the poetry actually, which I'm really surprised, to be honest, and very emotional. Really like the characters. Yeah, like everything with this book was really well done, I think. And the second book that I finished was The Bells, and this one honestly started off really not great. I was really confused with the world building. I didn't like the characters actually, but then once the mystery element got into play there and once things started to finally come together, things started to become so much more fascinating that I ended up giving this book a 4 star, which, I mean, kind of surprised, to be honest. But I feel like the second half, or not even the second half, like the last quarter of the book was ended on such a strong note that I am really debating about picking up the sequel because it's such a huge cliffhanger. Like, I kind of want to know what happens. And then of course the last book that I read was this one. This one I rated 3.5 stars. So this one's, I feel like this book, the weekend started off really strong with The Poet X with like 5 stars, and then went to 4 and then 3.5. So I mean, overall the weekend was pretty good because there was not a book that I didn't like. The last 2 books, there were definitely elements of it that I didn't enjoy as much, but at the end of the day, like, I still enjoyed the overall books. I honestly only expected to finish 2 books, so I was really happy, and like I'm really happy that I managed to finish 3 in the 4 days of reading that I did, so not too bad. This book definitely took me the longest. It took me like basically 2 days to finish, so not bad at all. But yeah, that's my update, and I hope you guys like this reading vlog, this themed reading vlog. Let me know in the comments below if you had read any of the books that I have read this weekend. If you have, let me know if you enjoyed it or not. What did you think about it, etc. Let me know if any of these books that you want to read, and if my reading experience has influenced you to pick it up sooner or later. Let me know down below. But as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!